Hello everybody, and welcome back to Trilby's Notes. If you recall, last time my game crashed when I was about to pry open these boards, but I've already done that now, so we're good to go. Take wood. I had no further interest in the rotting wood. Open door. Look. Bag. A sack tied up at one end sat oozing foulness in the corner. Open bag. The mere thought of what that bag could contain made me feel ill. Look. Wall. The prerequisite bloodstains had faded to an ugly brown color over time. It had not made them any less unnerving. It had been used to daub some kind of symbol on the north wall. What is the point of the extra of the U in color? I may have mentioned this before, but I don't understand why they spell it like that over there. Color. It's not pronounced that way. It's color. Not color. Not flavor. You said that somebody, they'd look at you weird. Take pill. Open. Yep, open door. All is well. Open door. What? One second, folks. Let's restore. We're gonna outsmart this game. Take pill. Open door. See? Totally outsmart. Look. Bottle. A bottle of Speedy Cola, a brand of highly caffeinated soft drink. Drink the bottle almost full. Someone must have decided it was beyond the limits of their constitution. I don't remember what it's for, but I'm going to take it. I took the drink with me. Something told me it would come in useful. Save. Save into this one. Look. Sign. An ancient shingle from an establishment called The Unicorn was leaning against one of the tables. Look. Chair. An involuntary shudder went through me as recognition dawned. It was the same chair from the living room in Defoe Manor, the room I had opted to sleep in for those 5 days. Well, on the 4th day you slept in a shed. As I recall, he wanted to sell that chair. Said it had a good finish and everything. Look. Chisel. It was probably a very old chisel, rusted and probably very fragile. As the professor had described, the words Sea Angel were carved into the handle. Again, I found myself inexplicably drawn to the artifact. My fingertips were already extending towards it, as if drawn by a magnet. Touch. Chisel. A loud buzzing played in my ear, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, A.D., 1789. I'm afraid to hit the enter button in case I accidentally skip the next thing. But it seems okay. That name had been a great warrior. In battle his skill was thought unmatched in all of Africa. I don't think his legend was that great. Africa's pretty big. He had had respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, children to make any father proud. But through just one mistake, it had all been torn away. His mistake was in standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Now his great house was in ruin, his women raped, his children murdered. And for Bota, the worst fate of all, sold to the white men in exchange for weapons, shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. Matoba was strong. Perhaps he could have lived as a slave, but then came the sickness. A simple fever, no doubt to be gone the next day, but the white men took no chances and threw him overboard. For days, that name drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. Having lost everything, he now sought only the embrace of the deep, a welcome end to a life betrayed. You could just stop floating. But the end did not come then. It's easier to embrace death when you let go of the driftwood. Voices unfamiliar, speaking an unfamiliar language. Matoba was suddenly terrified that the slavers must have returned, but he was as weak as a newborn and could not move or speak. Looks like we picked him up just in time. Don't know how long he's been adrift here, but he can't have lasted much longer. Good Lord, look upon it, men. The greatest evidence we have of humanity's inherent evil. Never forget that men, sailors such as you or I, did this. Left this poor wretch to die. Slavers aren't sailor like you or I, Captain. No. I do not know how those devils can have the audacity to still call themselves human. Today there's no pride in being an Englishman. Find our passenger some quarters. Make him comfortable. Passenger, Captain? Every innocent who sets foot on my ship is a free man. Is there something about this policy you find questionable? Not at all, Captain. No, these were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded, with terrified black faces. There was anger in the voices of the white men, but not directed at him. Still frightened, but somewhat reassured, he passed out. Days passed, and his health was restored. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men had been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided that it had been the will of the gods that he should survive, and that proper thanks would be in order. An idol, that was the answer. If he could just find a suitable wood and a sharp blade, he could carve the finest idol of his life. Well, that's not entirely true. Climb down. Look. Crate. The large crate was sitting in the shaft of light, with letters stenciled on that Matumba did not recognize. That's not even close to how it's properly pronounced. It was cheaply made, with poor quality nails, and some of the boards looked ready to fall off. Look, wood. The wood of the crate seemed ideal for his intentions. He decided to leave it here until he was ready to carve the idol. Climb. Look, sailor. There were several crewmen tending to the ship scattered around the deck. Despite the language barrier, he could tell they were friendly and cordial. That's nice. Point to chisel. Right here, laddie? Oh, I see you want something to carve with. Here. The sailor handed Matoba a sharp, almost brand new workman's chisel. Just bring it back when you're finished with it. Can do. Climb down. Carve. Carve wood, dumbass. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, Matumba could finally create his offering. It's a little quiet. All that remained now was to return the chisel. Sorry, I accidentally skipped that one trying to increase the volume. Look idol. Certainly it was the finest idol that had ever carved. A fitting offering of thanks. Trilby thinks otherwise. He called it one of the ugliest things he's ever seen. Well, I say he could. Climb. Look, corpses. It hurts. Listen. Look, blood. It hurts. Jump overboard. Jump off ship. It hurts. Climb. It hurts. I think it hurts. Well, I'll just be going now. Ooh! Goodness me! The vision faded, and I felt myself being hurled forcefully back into the present day. That tall, thin creature, that black-clad ghoul, what was his significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again throughout history to spread death and horror? There was no connection to the idol's shape or his tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. It must have been connected to the wood of that crate somehow. There had been a name on that crate. I hadn't been able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had. O'Malley Shipping. Could the owner had been an ancestor of Sibohane? Sibohane? Names are hard! It was a flimsy possibility, but at that point my only lead. I resolved to discuss this with Sibohane at the earliest opportunity. Look, paper. Well, look, paper? I recognize it as being from the same source as the one under the painting in the lobby. Victim 4, the slave. The fourth man who desired judgment was the slave, who had not been brought Freehorn's message, and who tormented the wood that was the prince's soul with a sharpened blade. The prince came to him, and he struck the slave down, and he knew the name of the king. And the prince said, "Not one of your household shall I leave alive, slave, for thrice now have I brought my warning, and any who still fail to heed shall be named as fool and judged most unworthy in our sight." Unlock door. Open door. Finally, Oh, it's you, Terry. Thought you might have been the serving staff at last. Ask about staff. Ask about... Obed? What was his name? Look, guy. Look, man. Abed, okay. Ask about Abed. I did. Ask about Sibohane. Ask about lady. Ask Abed about O'Malley. Where's Sibohane? She said she was going to get a drink. I keep telling her it's not right for a girl her age to drink so much. But what do I know about young people today? You seem to be forgetting that she's Irish. Like, extremely Irish, apparently. Open door. Mr. Trilby, have you seen any of the hotel staff anywhere? I'm afraid not. Humph. Perhaps they got to bed early in these parts. God, it's just way too Scottish. I'm not good at it. I'm sorry. Ask about O'Malley shipping. Do you know anything about the history of your family? I wouldn't be much of a history student if I didn't now, would I? I'm researching my family... whatever. That's ideal. I appreciate this may sound like an odd question, but trust me when I say it's important. Did your family run a shipping company in the late 18th century? That is an odd question, but I do remember reading something about O'Malley shipping. I had to check my notes. I left them in my book bag. Could you meet me in my room in about 5 minutes? I'm in 2A next to our bed. Certainly. I'll see you there then. That's not what I meant to do. I was hoping to have something happen, but guess not. Sometimes you'll be teleported to strange places. Things will happen that make very, very little sense. It's awesome. I hope I got the volume right this time around. Maybe I'm just not speaking loud enough. Huh. That was strange. Knock on door. Door's open. Come in, please, Teddy. You have the papers? Must you always get right down to business? Come and sit down, let's talk. Awkward. How are you feeling? We were a little worried about you. I have these moments of illness. What do you want to talk about? The film matter. Oh. It kind of interests me. I was really into the media coverage at the time of the incident at the time. This client of yours, the one who wants the figurine, what does he know about it? Well, he has an interest in the occult, and there's some nonsense story going around about it. Something about the idol being a vessel for an evil ghost. I wasn't really paying attention. Really? I don't remember hearing about that in any of the reports. No, you wouldn't have. It wasn't widely... Have you heard the story that Trilby was in the house? I could feel cold sweat drooling down my spine. Every fiber in my being was concentrating on not giving any outward signs of alarm as Sibylline spoke of my secret name with wide-eyed enthusiasm. No one believes it, but Simone Taylor insisted it was true right up until, well, you know. She says he saved her from the house. I think that's a little far-fetched. That's exactly what Abed says. He says a ghost is one thing, but throwing Trilby into it just makes it seem silly. Truth be told, I don't think Abed believes in Trilby any more than he does ghosts. He's so grounded in reality. A sensible attitude. Have you always been an antique dealer? Spohane, please, I came here to talk about... Let me put that another way. Have you ever been an antique dealer? I knew it. The outfit, the hat, Trilby. You're him. You went into full manner, and now you've come here to finish off the ghost. Sybilhane, I always knew there was something else in this world, that there was something better, more glamorous just below the surface. Will you take me with you? Listen to me. There's nothing glamorous about what I do. I live in the shadows that threaten to consume me every single day. And if you pursue this any further, you're going to walk straight into one. What are you talking about? There is something extremely dangerous in the hotel. I don't know what it is, but... Oh gosh. Oh god. No! Darn. I really don't want to have to go through all this again. But I also really want to show you what happens. I'm torn. You know what? Let's just roll with it. Let's roll with this. Look, man. The tall man looked as he did in my vision, stupidly tall and thin, as if he had been taken in two giant hands and stretched. Nothing in his face or body betrayed any emotion as he approached. Talk to man. The demon seemed beyond reason. Well, that's presumptuous. He might just be a very tall man with a skin condition and no face. Scream? Beg? This concludes the text of the notes found in the Clansbrown Hotel. Time of writing, Trilby remains missing in action. And that's what happens when you die. So yeah. Fun times. Next time, we'll do that properly. I am the Blues 32. This has been Trilby's Notes. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.